Hello, everybody. Wow. Um, Looks like the stream looks halfway decent now and sounds halfway decent. This whole thing's pretty much just been um, a crapshoot, trying to make sure that my latency and my scaling and my bit rates are all correct. Um, Pretty long process. Still waiting for my delay to show what's going on the camera, and if you're with me for this, thank you. I'm sorry that it's kind of sloppy looking, but this is how we learn, this is how we launch. Um, so, some of the stuff that I do want to go over today, I don't want to go over much, um, but what I've been looking into, uh, still pretty disheartening, seeing the current fractured condition of the American family. Um, every single day, it's just a little bit more hatred coming out of our society. And one thing that I came to note today, as I was watching, um, or I watched yesterday the James O'Keefe interview of the postal worker, and this guy who interviewed him, Strasser, um, basically it was like a propaganda filled session where they weren't really trying to derive any facts or truth within the interview of the postal worker. They started at the conclusion and then they started working their way back from there to try to prove what their conclusion was. But this is what the problem I've seen with discourse pretty much across the board. I just see everybody in our society starts with the conclusion. Even if they say they're going to have a discussion where they're going to try to understand each other, everybody starts with their conclusion and starts working backwards from that point, trying to make people believe what they believe or just trying to impose on those people their beliefs. And I just see this being a problem in our society ultimately, and bad things are going to continue to happen. Um, well, what I kind of want to look into right now, I'm just gonna head right over to my Twitter and continue to test out, see how the software's looking, because I really have no idea, and I can't wait to bring my partner on board. But what I told him was that, I mean, it has to be halfway presentable if if anybody's going to watch this. Um, so let's take a look here. Um, Not used to presenting on the fly so much, so pardon me. Let's see. Uh, Again, a lot of people are talking about the Dominion software earlier today. Donald Trump was saying that he had at least 2 million votes that weren't being counted. And uh, it is definitely the intriguing item of the day right now. Um, in here, you could see in this mode, all participants in the process will use the same encryption keys. That just wasn't a smart idea. Um, and one of my friends, Verum Obduat, they said the most, like, this is just the best point that I've come across from anyone on Twitter. And it is, does anyone else think it's weird that the media and big tech ran cover for Biden during his campaign, censored posts, refused to cover damaging stories, and suppressed trending topics, and now he's offering positions in his administration to executives from Apple, Facebook, Google, and Twitter. I mean, it's kind of a good point. It's kind of a good point. It definitely seems like everybody's palms are rubbing together and everybody's pockets are being filled. This is something I came across today from the Dr. Appel, a Princeton professor of computer science and an election security expert, demonstrated in 2016 on Fox News how a Dominion voting machine could be hacked to switch votes from one candidate to another. Dominion voting machines. I figured out how to make a slightly different computer program that just before the polls were closed, it switches some votes around from one candidate to another. I wrote that computer program onto a memory chip, and how to hack a voting machine. You just need 7 minutes alone with it and a screwdriver. That's Dr. Andrew Appel, Princeton professor. So once again, we're just seeing more and more evidence that, once again, it's not my point to prove that there's any fraud. My point here is to present the information, let you look at it, and come to your own conclusions. Obviously, there's tons of info. Here's an article from redelephants.com, and these are all very important articles that are being censored right now, and the redelephants.com is definitely a site that is being censored because of the information that they're bringing forward. I recommend everybody read. There is undeniable mathematical evidence that the election is being stolen. To ignore this right now, if you're ignoring the mountains of evidence that something happened from November 3rd to now, there's something wrong with you. Texas officials have reviewed Dominion's democracy suite on at least 6 separate occasions, all of them resulting in recommendations of not certifying it for use. You can go look at those reports for yourself at sos.texas.gov/elections. Okay. I'm not going to make this a super long session tonight because it took me so long to get things started and figure out what was what. According to this, 96% of Dominion voting systems political donations went to Democrats. That means the company of Dominion has been making donations to Democrats. And then another poster worker has come to Project Veritas with a story about political bias. I recommend everybody just go to Project Veritas. There's no reason for me to mirror every single thing they do. Leaving on this topic of the Hopkins case, Hopkins is the first postal worker that came forward and signed an affidavit. Immediately, the U.S. Postal Service came forward with what their inspector had found. And their inspector basically said that he recanted on his, that he completely recanted on his sworn affidavit. But that was nowhere within the interview. That was just what this Inspector Strusser was implying. Hopkins continues to stand by his story, and no matter how much pressure they're putting on him right now, it's important for us to support him and show that, well, not everybody in the world hates him. Another thing that I've been coming across as a As someone that's kind of a contrarian, uh, I laugh a lot at the partisan hackery that um, is lobbed toward contrarians and the things that we say. And someone found it odd that everyone that was a Tulsi Gabbard supporter uh, are now seem to be fighting for Trump. And that is funny. And I said earlier, 4 years ago, if you told me that I was going to be fighting for Trump to get the right result in an election, I just would have told you were crazy and laughed in your face. But I mean, the reason why you're seeing so many Tulsi Gabbard supporters um, fighting for the votes to be counted is because all of us have always stepped with this sort of ideology where facts come first. Facts don't care about your feelings. Opinions are just opinions. And we need to see what the actual information is telling us and what the result will be. Because no matter who you want to win, if we say that it's okay to cheat, then that's really bad for democracy, my people. I mean, really bad. We can't just say, okay, well, I like this guy and he cheated, so that's all right with me. We could just go ahead and cheat whenever someone really good comes along. Oh, Bernie Sanders is running, let's cheat for him. Oh, it's AOC, she's running for something else, let's cheat for her. Everybody talking about ballots, 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 Ilhan Omar with her ballot harvesting. And I mean, basically, every time that something like this comes up, as far as election integrity is concerned, it just seems like everybody makes excuses, and we need to stop doing that. I'm gonna make it short tonight. Cut it off there. Leave it at that. Review this and see if this looks any better than my other streams. I think they looked terrible. But I do want to thank you for tuning in. Please comment, like, subscribe. There's a lot more content to come, and the show's going to get a lot more interesting in the next coming week. I think I'm getting the fine tuning done, so bear with me. Thank you.